Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Take. Happy Monday. Let's get started with the takeaways from each game. For the first game, let's do the Falcons and Panthers. My one phrase for that game is finally didn't blow one. The Falcons, after giving up leads multiple times late in the fourth quarter, they finally held on. Good for them that they got the win, especially against a divisional opponent, because it always feels good to get a win against a rival, but they should be tanking to get a good draft pick instead. So that's just my opinion. That's what they should be doing, not trying to win games at this point. Patriots versus Bills. Signed, sealed, and delivered. You know how I said the Patriots are done and they're not making the playoffs last week? Well, now it's officially. It's sealed. It's a sealed shut case. I'm surprised it was even close. And credit to the Patriots making it close without Edelman and all that, but that Campbell basically made their season over. Titans versus Bengals. Potential pretenders. So after two games, the Titans might be potential pretenders as far as Super Bowl goes. Because I'm not saying they're pretenders as far as playoff goes, because they're definitely a playoff team. It's just a matter if they're Super Bowl contender. Loss to Pittsburgh is obviously not bad. They were down bad in the first half, but they lost a field goal a game, so that's not bad. But, except the Buffalo win, where they dominated there, it's like they have no quality wins on their resume. And then they just lost to a team who had the third worst record in the AFC. Now they're a good offense, but still horrible defense. You should be able to outscore them at the very least. But so we all thought going into the season that if they get held back, it'll be because of Ryan Tannehill. But it looks like if the Titans do get held back from their goals, it will be because of their defense. Raiders versus Browns. Browns have a frown. I know OBJ was not playing, but there's no excuse, especially since he didn't get a lot of touches. You still have weapons. Because Las Vegas is a bad defense. And he only scored 6 points. Now, the defense only gave up 16 or so that they, in a way, kind of did a job, but the Browns, if they keep this up, they're not going to make the playoffs. I still won't count them out quite yet, but in a few weeks if this continues, and I'll change my mind. Colts versus Lions. The river happens to be full. It was a good day for Phil Rivers, but this just happens to be a good day against a bad Detroit defense, so if I'm a Colts fan, don't get too excited just yet. But you can definitely be about your defense, so they're doing a great job. Vikings versus Panthers. Cookers cook. Dalvin Cook was the only reason why they won. For some reason, the Packers couldn't stop him, which I don't get how you can't stop him. You just pack the box, and if Kirk Cousins beats you with his arm, then give credit there, and he does. But you can't let Dalvin Cook be that's unacceptable. And if I'm the Vikings, same situation as Packers, you shouldn't. I know it's against a rival that you want, but it's like you shouldn't be trying to win. You should be tanking at this point. Get a good draft pick because you're usually not going to get this good of an opportunity because you usually can be better than this. But Packers, man, they looked like this first or second best NFC teams to now, where they're probably still going to win the division, but it's like. They might not get past the first round of the playoffs. We'll see. They definitely have weaknesses they need to work on. Jets versus Chiefs. Who cares? The Chiefs did as expected against a bad Jets team. No reason to watch it or pay attention to it. Now, the only surprise is that the Chiefs passed it more than I thought, because I thought they were going to just run the ball the whole time, because that they could be able to do that against the Jets defense. Which, if you can, like the Chiefs, they could have ran every single time and still won the game. But they decided to pass it, so I'm not sure what to expect from them every single game from now on. But good win for the Chiefs. Rams versus Dolphins. Tua, the game manager. This is not a sight we see from Tua at Alabama. He's that gunslinger and go be special type of guy. Nope. Let's run the ball. Just when you do throw, just throw for first downs. Make it safe, conservative. Let the defense score basically 2 touchdowns, and the special teams get no touchdown, help us win. Because overall, according to Alabama standards, where Tua said Tua didn't have a great game. This one, but he got the W for his first start, which Burrow and Herbert can't say that happened for their first game. So if Goff has to throw and by the way, if you're the Rams, if Goff has to throw 61 times, you're gonna lose a game. You cannot allow that. Just remember that. Also, so Brian Flores, he definitely knows how to defend Jared Goff. He did in the Super Bowl, and now he does it here. So that could be the Rams and Goff's kryptonite, if you will. Now, luckily, they're in a different conference. They won't see each other a lot, but interesting matchup going forward. Steelers versus Ravens. Still clutch. The veteran QB versus the youngster. I shouldn't, even though I picked the Ravens win, I shouldn't be shocked that the veteran made the plays in the end to win the game. Lamar Jackson needs to improve on his pass game, as all Ravens kind of figure at this point if they want to be Super Bowl contenders. Steelers definitely made that obvious. Chargers versus Broncos. You got to charge your battery. We've seen this numerous times already. Chargers look good in the beginning, but then they can't hang on to the leads and they eventually collapse. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a like coaching issue or talent issue. Because I feel like they have talent, so I'm not sure the issues. But if the Chargers now 2-5, go and you're in a tough division already. Just go ahead and tank at this point. It's okay. You're gonna just tank, and you should be good next year, whether it's Coach Lynn or not. You just gotta get those needed pieces in the draft. Saints versus Bears. Need to make a move. Saints survived once again, but they need to make a move before the Tuesday trading deadline. They call themselves contenders for the Super Bowl. And if you are contenders, what you waiting for? Now it's time to make a move. Seahawks got a defensive end that they desperately needed. And now the Saints, they need to get a corner. You have a good trading piece, actually, in Jameis Winston. If you really think Taysom Hill's the future, then trade Winston. Call Washington football team up, be like, hey, we need your best corner, and we'll give you Jameis Winston. So you actually have a quarterback you can win with. And I feel like Ron Rivera would go for that. So there you go. And then you can also sign our free agent Earl Thomas for the veteran minimum free agency, especially since Saints have a lot of money to begin with. You can sign him for the minimum free agency since he's still a free agent. I mean, yeah, you're taking a risk with the locker room vibe, but he's talent you desperately need right now. Because you played against a bad Chicago offense and you almost lost the game. So this will be 2 player improvements for the secondary and make the Saints' chances of winning the Super Bowl just that much better. 49ers versus Seahawks. Not the same. I saw something that made me think the 49ers would turn it around, maybe make the playoffs and go on a run, but it's not looking that way anymore. Looks like I was wrong there. But in a tough division and with their injury issues, they really should start thinking about just tanking and preparing for the next season instead with their loaded roster. Cowboys versus Eagles. Danucci made an oopsie. I've been waiting for the moment where he kind of makes that rookie mistake. He had so many times where he was close to getting an interception, but just didn't happen. And it was still a game throughout until the 4th, and then all of a sudden, bam! He got sacked and fumbled, and it ended up being a scoop and score, and the Cowboys were done. So now, and by the way, since I can see why he was drafted 7th round now. He's not that good. That was just my brother coached you in basketball, so I'll pick you up type of thing. Like, that's just, again, throwing a bone to a guy like you did with Mike Nolan. Oh, hey, so if you got this job, I'll get you that job. Not a way to run a franchise. But anyways, now Jerry Jones, he needs to see the writing on the wall now. Get rid of some of the players for a trade like Amari Cooper. You can't pay a guy $20 million a year just to catch one ball for 5 yards. Like, you can't do that. So it's like trade Amari Cooper right now, get a 1st round or at least a 2nd round draft pick for him. Or if you don't want a draft pick, you want a secondary player that'll improve, you can get that as well. But it's time to accept your fate. Also, Eagles offense. I know you have a bunch of injuries, but you only scored 15 against a horrible Cowboys defense. You're not out of the woods quite yet. You're the reason why I can't trust you to win the division, why I picked someone else. That's pathetic. So there you go. So now to go over my top 10 college football teams after week 9. So number 1 on the AP poll still has Clemson. And I agree there just because I feel like the backup quarterback, don't get me wrong, did a great job. I feel like if Trevor Lawrence was playing, they would have scored maybe in the 40s or 50s or something instead of having to be a one possession type of game. And then 2 Alabama. Actually, at this point, okay. So if Clemson wins with their backup quarterback against Notre Dame, they can have the number 1 spot in my opinion. But if they lose, or if it's like very close, where they're very, very, very lucky to win, then I would put Alabama 1. But right now, I'll keep Clemson 1, Alabama 2, and Ohio State, I'll keep them 3. They have Notre Dame 4, and I'll keep them at 4 for now. But again, I think they're going to lose, so they won't stay there for long. 5, Georgia. I do feel like, despite their offensive struggle somewhat, they are the best one-loss team. We'll see it this week, though, if they are. 6, I got Texas A&M because their one loss was to Alabama, so that's totally acceptable. 7, I got BYU. They're continuing to improve, and they got a tough test this week. 8, Cincinnati. Man, Cincinnati is on another level this year. They're like the UCF of a couple years ago. They're just dominating people, so they could very well go undefeated. Well, it'll be interesting to see if they even have to sweat a little bit. And then 8, I got Florida at 3-1. Again, their only loss was to Texas A&M, which is top 10 team right now. So again, it's an acceptable loss. So Florida's 9, I meant. So that means 10. You can go a couple of different ways here, but I'm going to go ahead, even though they didn't play last week, I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Who won that first game? Just because Wisconsin, I know it's Illinois. Illinois is not looking good, but with their quarterback that looks so good now, Wisconsin's going to be without Mertz as they play Purdue this week, so Wisconsin could easily fall out. And if Oregon looks impressive against Stanford, or if Indiana beats Michigan and they're starting 3-0, then I'll put them in the top 10. But that's my top 10 for now. To repeat, Clemson 1, barely, Alabama 2, Ohio State 3, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 5, Texas A&M 6, BYU 7, Cincinnati 8, Florida 9, and then Wisconsin 10. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel, tell everyone about me. Thank you very much, and you'll have a wonderful day.